Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty interesting things to go over for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Some images have been revealed, some information has been revealed about how Pokemon Scarlet and Violet were going to look. Basically pre-development images and stuff. Information has come out about the Generation 9 games. We also have some DLC stuff to go over as well, linking some Datamine information with the new Paradox Pokemon. There's a lot of stuff to break down today, so if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. It's trying to hit 500 likes, it really helps out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new for daily Pokemon content. Ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, let's take a look at the pre-development images for the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet games. This was tweeted out by PokeKalos, saying conceptual image of early game development unveiled at CEDEC. Further information on modeling, etc. is disclosed here. So this is a pre-development image of what the Generation 9 games were going to look like, and my lord, it looks so good. Like, generally, obviously, I am a fan of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but when you see what they were going to look like, or kind of what their idea was for the Generation 9 games, like, look how nice this game looks. Like, obviously it's just an image, it's not a game, but the colors look better, the environment looks better, even the characters themselves look better. It looks like we'd be able to customize the whole outfit in this situation. I think the character just from behind looks a lot better than the protagonist outfits and stuff that we got. And yeah, just all in all, I'm a little bit, I guess, disappointed that we didn't get something similar to this. It looks a lot more kind of open worldish. It looks more like a Zelda game. There's a lot more kind of wildlife features and characteristics that are going on in this image. There's also obviously like the trees are just kind of in a situation where you could just see Pokemon kind of jumping out at you and stuff like that. So yeah, this is what, again, this is just a, like, it's a pre-development image, so obviously there's not a lot to go on, and this isn't exactly what they were going to look like. This is just one of the many ideas they had for the Generation 9 games. And again, there's more information about this here as well on this website. Now, this was, is posted in Japanese, so obviously it's been translated, probably translated badly, but either way, there's a little bit more information about it here, saying the look concept of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is real and deformed. The texture and shape of the background are more realistic than the previous work Sword and Shield, but the Pokemon and human characters are not completely realistic. The texture is basically realistic, but it will be necessary to make adjustments in consideration of the matching with the silhouette. So obviously this is like the colors they were using, the red, green, blue, stuff like that, base colors, all that stuff. And then we also have some more images here. This is a bit more further down the line, because obviously this is a little bit more what Scarlet and Violet look like. You can see the images and stuff, and the kind of lines they were using on the buildings and stuff in the background. We have more images here, and then also different expressions for each part of Pokemon, how to express terracing and dirt. So I didn't know that dirt was a thing in this game, but we'll go over it in a second. But apparently Pokemon get dirty, and I don't think I've ever even noticed that. But either way, the subsurface scattering, which expresses light scattered inside an object. There's an expression often used for Pokemon skin, etc. Basically just kind of showing you how the light kind of reflects and stuff on the different Pokemon. We've got Scyther here for an example. And then also the parameters change depending on the size of the Pokemon, with large Pokemon dark and small Pokemon light. Also, the thickness and density varies depending on the part, and the thin part is set to a lighter value. Again, just kind of going into light and stuff like that. And then next, the expression seen on the heads and stuff. It's applied only near the outline of the gel parts. Obviously, this is I guess a pre-development of Quaxley and stuff. And then we also have structural colors that can be seen in soap bubbles in reality. Again, not really too sure what's going on here and what they're really talking about. I'm not massive into like game development. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm just kind of reading what it's saying here. But yeah, I guess just going into like more coloring details and more lighting details and stuff about it. This is where they're talking about the paradox forms and kind of like the different particles and stuff you can find on Miraidon, and just how they were going to like make those in depth and stuff like that. And then also a point light is installed in the terminal joint in the Pokemon's eye. Highlight placed on this makes the highlights appear more move depending on the angle of the camera and stuff. Again, just with the lightings and everything like that. And then also they're going into detail about like the terrestrial kind of outlines and the kind of light and stuff that shines on that. And then yeah, we also have the dirt thing as well, which I don't know if this is even a thing. I can't say that I've even seen this, but we have like a dirty Pikachu here, and then this is like a regular Pikachu. So I don't know if this was cut or something, because I don't think I've ever seen a Pokemon get dirty in this game. I've seen like the trainer get dirty and stuff and change depending on the weather, like if it's snowy or raining or whatever. But it says, one more thing about the system of this work is that Pokemon get dirty while adventuring. First of all, in this work, in addition to the Pokemon getting dirty, little by little when it receives damage, there is a snow stain that turns white with snow in snowy areas. These are achieved by preparing dirty textures and overlaying the rendering on them. So basically, when the Pokemon would take damage and stuff, it would get dirtier, and it'd get dirtier when adventuring and stuff. Which makes more sense why we'd like clean them and stuff. But I don't remember them getting like this dirty and stuff, which I think would have been a really cool. Maybe it is in the game. I just can't, for the life of me, remember it being in the game. I'll have to check next time I play. But yeah, I don't remember my Pokemon getting like this dirty and stuff when they were taking damage and stuff, which I think would have been a really cool feature, and it kind of shows like the dirt here and stuff. Obviously, they also talk about the trainer here as well, like dirt is applied not only to Pokemon but also the hero's feet. I've seen that, but again, not to this like level of dirt and stuff. So I don't know if this was like cut from the game or something, but either way, that would have been something I would have really loved to see. That would have been a really cool like extra little I guess little detail that they could have implied into the game. In addition to Pokemon, the session also introduced the expression of characters, such as the main character in the expression method of the Paldea region, which is a stage of this work. With the DLC delivery coming soon, I would like to pay attention to how the new Pokemon added in the DLC is expressed. So yeah, just kind of talking about expressions there for the different characters and Pokemon stuff and how they're going to work in like the DLC. And that's kind of everything for the pre-development and stuff. So yeah, like I say, it's always really interesting taking a look at these and seeing what the game could have looked like, what was originally supposed to look like. I think it's not like I don't want to say it's a downgrade, because this is just an image, and I guess it would have been a lot. I just feel like it would have been a lot different if this is the way that they were gonna go. But this definitely looks like it could have been much more. I don't know, just like the textures would look like a lot better and stuff, and the colors would have looked a lot better, and it looks a lot more open worldish. It also looks a lot more like. I don't want to say prehistoric, but it looks more like Legends Arceus kind of vibes, you know, which maybe they were taking into account because obviously Legends Arceus they were working on whilst they were working on Scarlet and Violet. But either way, that's all the pre-development stuff. Let me know your thoughts on all that, though. Again, the dirt thing is definitely something I swear I've not seen, but I might have just missed it. But either way, that's all that. Moving on, we also have the DLC stuff to take a look at as well, and how the data mined images and items could actually incorporate themselves into the DLC. So if you aren't aware, in the data mines for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we have this item here, and then we also have this item here as well. We don't know what they're used for. They don't have names. They don't have details about them. They're just in the game's data. So we have Light here saying, it's become clear that this recently discovered mystery Pokemon is in fact the legendary Terrapagos Pokemon in its normal form. So obviously talking about, you know, the baby Terrapagos is not a baby. It's actually the normal form of it. Turns out that the form Terrapagos was first discovered in its Terra form. Apparently, Terrapagos is capable of taking on multiple distinct appearances. That's what it actually says. After seeing that the Terrapagos we know is actually its terrestrial form, and it changes without any type of animation or explanation already, it makes me think that the two objects that are still to know their function are actually the objects that change that Terra forms not revealed already. So I'm going to base this on the fact that these two objects were created in the Blueberry Academy with the purpose of recreating the time machine that was made by Sada and Turo, hence the Paradox Pokemon. As being an academy focused on battles who know what else is going on there, I have the hunch that Serrano wanted to recreate Paldea itself with the power of Terrapagos. We could say these forms will be another version of the Paradox Pokemon we know already, having exclusively certain Pokemon with Terra forms in the Scarlet version and others in the Violet version. In this way, there will be exclusive versions for each one. This happened with Mega Evolutions and Dynamax forms, but my question is, will those items will change the form outside the battle as happens with Rotom? So basically, he's going into detail here about will these change forms for different Pokemon, maybe the Terra forms or maybe for the legendaries or something like that. But we actually have this post here by Mordecise, I hope I didn't get your name wrong, who actually thinks that it could be something to do with fusion. So yeah, I don't know, I think these stones are for combining the legendary Paradox Mons into the sketches that they look like in the Scarlet and Violet books. Now I don't think this is actually a crazy theory. I think this generally could be very likely to happen, and I'll tell you why. So basically, we have here this item which has been data mined, and basically this person here is saying that this item is used to fuse these three Paradox Pokemon together to make the Paradox Pokemon that we saw in the Scarlet and Violet book. And I don't think that's a crazy assumption at all, because it would kind of become full circle and as to why they are sketched like that, because it doesn't look like anything we've seen so far. Like obviously the Raikou has a massive neck, walking wake, you know, it's on its two legs, it's like bipedals, and obviously this isn't. We don't know what Entei looks like, but we're assuming it's going to be some sort of like maybe Triceratops or something like that. And so maybe this item, and again, it does have kind of a prehistoric vibe to it, could be used to fuse all of these Pokemon together. And it's the same for this item as well. This potentially could be used on the Swords of Justice, for Iron Leaves and Iron whatever, you know what I mean, the Cobalion and stuff like that. So they could be obviously used to fuse these together, and that's what we see from the Scarlet and Violet book. And as well as that, there has been a lot of, not hints, but there's been a lot of talk about potentially the gimmick in Generation 10 being all about fusion. And if we do get Generation 5 remakes next year, or some form of Generation 5 game next year, there is a lot of kind of fusion talk in those games with Kyurem and everything like that. So that could also be another hint towards fusions, and that could be another thing that's happening in Gen 10. So if this is the case, and we do get all these fusions, and then we all, because obviously we've had fusions before as well in the Sword and Shield DLC with Calyrex and Glacier and Spectre and stuff like that. This isn't the first time we've had it, and obviously in Gen 5 too. So maybe every DLC is just hinting towards fusion. So we have the Calyrex fusion, we have this potential fusion, we have Gen 5 remakes next year, which is all about fusion, which could be building up to Generation 10 having fusion as a gimmick. And I'm not talking about every Pokemon being able to fuse with everything, because it'd be just hundreds and hundreds of thousands of different possibilities, especially with us having over 1,000 Pokemon already. But it could just be like a select few Pokemon could fuse together, and that could be the gimmick, which I think would be really cool. You know, we've had fusions for a while. We saw like the Moltres, Articuno, Zapdos fusion in the manga years and years ago, so it is something that I have been like kind of talking about for a while. But I don't know, I think fusion would be a kind of a mad gimmick. It's Generation 10 as well, it needs to go big and massive, so I don't know, maybe it could be a hint towards fusions, you never know. But that's going to be everything that I wanted to talk about for today's video. Let me know your thoughts on everything we covered. What are your thoughts on this potentially being the fusion thing for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, or do you think it could be some sort of form-altering thing for Terrapagos and the other legendaries? And also, what are your thoughts on the kind of pre-development images and stuff, and what Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was potentially going to look like? So let me know your thoughts on all that. Subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. It's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you again for watching, and until next time, peace.